Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your girl, Ryder Creator, coming through with another one. So today I wanted to talk about um the verdict that was reached on a Saturday, which I had never heard before, which was very surprising to me. I wanted to talk about the verdict that was reached in the Othal Wallace case and what happened. And I want to clear up some things and put in more details of the things I did not know because I was under the impression the way that the case was being tried and showcased made me think that it only had first degree murder and a first degree felony murder because that's the only thing that they was talking about. And the only way that I found out there was more charges, more options to choose from or whatever is right before they was about to deliberate. And that's how I found out about the particulars. But I just want to go over some things that I wasn't sure of the last time I talked about this case and what I found out and what I thought that should have been stated or at least made known or talked about a little more or things that I thought that could help. So anyway, first let me say that Othal Wallace, who AKA is also known as Ozone. Okay, so Othal Wallace was found guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter um, and the death of Jason Rayner. Okay, Officer Jason Rayner. So I didn't even know that was up there and available to be part of the charges until later. So until right before they was about to deliberate. So let me just go into certain things. The last time I was on here, I was asked a lot of questions and I didn't have the answers because I didn't feel like uh, it was really being made known yet. So now that I know more, now let me just tell everything that, the last time I was talking about. So somebody asked me, um, was the officer shot with the officer's gun or Othel's gun? And come to find out it's Othel's gun. Okay. So that's what happened. It's either way, I still see it as self-defense. It didn't matter. So but I didn't have the information available, so I needed to dive deep and try to understand what happened. It was some other things that I wanted to discuss about this case that I was not totally sure about. Oh, so also while I was listening to this case, um, I found out that Officer Jason Rayner died when his mother took him off of life support or off of the ventilator because he had severe COVID lungs. So I felt like that should have been showcased more. I felt like that could weigh into reasonable doubt. I felt like they did not do this properly where they could have made known that as a reasonable doubt possibility because I really felt like that was the most concrete reasonable doubt. If you ask me, the minute I heard that, I said that sounded like reasonable doubt to me in the chat of where the case was. So also it was something else that I wanted to talk about the case. Also, I know a little bit more particular. He just opened up his door. Officer Jason Rayner just came onto private property, which was a private apartments parking lot, and asked him, "Does he live here?" Like profiled him. But what I didn't know is that in Florida they got stop and frisk, so you could just profile people and arrest them, abuse them, harass them, and that's okay by the law in Florida. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even know that. I just happened to be looking that up and I found that. So yes, I found that out. There's more things. I found out a lot of stuff, but um so back to what I was saying. He was found guilty of manslaughter of Officer Jason Rayner. Now, um, after the deliberation, after the verdict was reached, then the judge said, and did you find this by a firearm? Now I'm saying this for a reason because I wanted to look up and see what was the differences, why did he say that, and what did he mean by that, okay? So regular manslaughter charges usually come with a minimum of 9 years, a maximum of 15 years, right? That's the in Florida. I looked it up in Florida. So they usually come with a minimum of 9 years, a maximum of 15 years. But because he asked that question about the firearm, it had to do with manslaughter with a firearm. And I'm going to tell you about the things that I learned about that. So I'm about to try to find it so I can put it in order the right way. Let me make sure that's right. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to read the general thing first. So manslaughter with a weapon is assigned a level 8 offense severity ranking under Florida's criminal punishment code, absent grounds for a downward departure sentence. A judge is required to sentence the person convicted of manslaughter with a weapon to a minimum sentence of 10 and 1/3 years in prison, but may also sentence the person up to the statutory, 1 second, I got to get to the next page, maximum of 30 years. You hear the difference in that? Which is wild. So I'm going to keep reading. Manslaughter with a firearm. Manslaughter with a firearm is assigned a level 8 offense severity ranking and assessed an additional 18 sentencing points for possession of a firearm under Florida's criminal punishment code. Absent grounds for a downward departure sentence, a judge is required to sentence a person convicted of manslaughter with a firearm to a minimum of 11 and a half years, okay, in prison, but may also sentence the person up to the statutory maximum of 30 years in prison. You hear how it keeps growing and growing and growing. I was just going to read something else, but it's really saying the same exact thing. I don't know if, but I'm just going to read it anyway. Manslaughter with a weapon or a firearm. The crime of manslaughter with a weapon or a firearm is a first-degree felony in Florida and punishable by up to 30 years in prison, 30 years of probation, and oh my God. So you saying that's crazy. And a $10,000 fine. I wonder if they mean you would have to serve if you was getting the maximum sentence, would you have to serve 30 years in prison and 30 years probation? That's crazy. But I don't know. I don't know if they're saying that it could be a sentence as minimum as it is not as minimum as 30 years probation because he has to, the judge is required to and has to, it's a requirement that they are sentenced to the minimum of 11 and a half years. So this judge already seemed like he had he was trying to rush the trial and trying to speed it up and trying to on day 2 he started badgering people about how long they're going to be, like he had somewhere to be. This your job, sir. Why are you doing that? So he was like, how long y'all gonna be? It was like 12 o'clock. It was right before the lunch break. So he's like, okay, so when you come back, you're gonna say what? And then how long is that witness gonna be? And he's like, for like an hour, sir. And then he was like, yeah. And so then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna call any witnesses for your stuff, defense or whatever? And like just trying to rush the trial along. And so I felt like he kept showing signs that he was on the side of law enforcement. So we're gonna see where he was at mentally and where he was at morally when this sentencing is given out. But the sentencing is not until 10/11, so not till October 11th. So we got a little bit of a while to wait to find out where is he going with this. But I felt like he kept trying to tell people half of the law. He kept trying to say, like, when the jury was asking questions like, when is a client, um, when does something switch from a client being free to leave to having to be detained, or when is a person detained? He was saying stuff like when they can't leave. That's not a clear answer for the jury. That's why they found him. That's why they found him guilty of manslaughter, because the judge did not give definitive enough answers for the jury to say, okay, so now we could find out about this. But yeah, we have yet to see what's going to happen with the sentencing. Um, and I don't know if they're going to try to appeal it and try to get a new case. But the crazy thing is, they have 4 different charges that literally he could have been convicted of. I didn't know that the last time I was talking about this. So it was one that was first degree murder. The second one was a first degree felony or murder felony. The third one was manslaughter, and then the fourth one was self-defense. So um I don't know. My personal opinion, and I'm not trying to sway nobody, no way or anything. I'm feeling grateful that they did not convict him of either one of those murders, because he would have had the death penalty. And I don't know if he would go through another trial, would they not convict him of murder one. And then the tricky shit that the judge was doing. So he also said he made this law where, okay, so it was a first degree murder, and then it was first degree felony murder or something, right? And you didn't have to have a unanimous ruling in the first degree murder. You could have convicted that it was the felony murder, and either way, it's going to all count as first degree, and it would have qualified him for the death penalty. This is the type of stipulations on his trial, and I don't know if he should go back for another. That's the scary thing. Like, yes, he's going to be giving up a minimum of 11 and a half years of his life. But at the same time, if he go back and try to retry this, he might get murder one. He might get murder one, and I don't know how they are. All I know is of the history of Florida. And if that is true, what I have seen, the past history of Florida, I don't know. I don't know. The decision is ultimately his, but I would be very afraid for him to retry that and think he gonna get like he mess around and get the murder charge. So I just want to make y'all aware of what was going on with and I'm not saying he should or shouldn't do anything. It's all his choice. Whatever he chooses, I support him in that. So I don't know. Um Considering the 4 charges, it was like the second best outcome, but I know they was hoping for um self-defense. I don't know how that's gonna go, but I just had to make people aware of what has happened. And they was deliberating in the court on Saturday. I had never heard of that before. I didn't know jurors come to court on Saturday and deliberate. Somebody said they don't. One of my ancestors said they don't. So yeah, they was really trying to rush this trial. They literally pulled the jury in on Saturday. I never heard of that. But um so that's all I really have to say about what happened in the Othal Wallace case. And also I did another piece of video about let me try to space that out. Okay, so good luck to Othal Wallace and whatever he chooses to do from here. If he chooses to appeal the case, if he chooses, and I heard that his defense team, wasn't it his defense team? Yeah, his defense team chose to investigate before the sentencing. I don't know what that means, but I know it means something. I'm gonna find out what that means. I don't know how, but I'm gonna find out. But anyway, so I just wanted to make y'all aware of what's going on with Othal and what's going on with that. And good luck to that brother. And whatever he choose, I'll support him. I ain't saying nothing is the right decision, and I'm not saying nothing is the wrong decision. Whatever you choose, I support you. So thank God they ain't give him the death penalty. That's all I'm thankful for. So so now I wanted to move on to yesterday I posted a video with the reading of the verdict, and I didn't put the actual criminal up on the screen because I don't glorify criminals. I don't support stuff like that. I'm not a true crime channel that glorifies criminals and is fascinated with serial Ks and want to know what are they thinking and all that foolishness, and want to get interviews with them and want to look at documentaries about their behavior and the people they have murdered. I'm not into that type of thing. So I did not even show his face on my piece about Bree, about the verdict that was ruled over the guy Henry Dinkins that murdered her. Um, I didn't even want to show his face because I felt like it would have been dishonoring her. So I just showed pictures of her and the things she was into. And she was a lovely girl. She was going to be a little star. She was going to be a star. She is a Sagittarius. Her birthday the same day as Jay-Z's. Her birthday was December the 4th. Um, she was going to be some type of star and be in the lights, camera, action business because that's the first numbers of her birthday, which is a 3. That's what it represents, that you are going to be in that type of business, the lights, camera, action business, a 3. The last number of her birthday is a 4, and it represents that she's a very stable human being. Like, she was very mature for her age. She has methodical ways of doing stuff, and it always gets her successful results. Like she probably make lists about her dreams and her goals and how she's gonna attack them. Is that true, babe? Yes. And it worked for you. Yes, I knew that because of the 4. So together, she was a 7, which is a person that has a quirky sense of humor. She's a compassionate and loving human being. She understands human nature and how who people are beneath the surface. She understands that. She She is a person that needs her alone time for peace of mind to be able to make it in this world. She also was very analytical. She was very inquisitive. She wanted to know the why and the why of everything. Um, am I leaving anything out? Nope. Okay. So, yep. But people could accuse her of being secretive, but no, she's just a person that everything that she do ain't everybody business, or everything that she think or say to herself or say to somebody else ain't everybody else's business. But anyway, so I just want to talk about the beautiful human being that she was before talking about this. So the verdict was read about um, the criminal that murdered her. Um, he was found guilty of both counts. It was of murder and it was of kidnapping. And I guess they could not find the rest of it because remember what I told you, that my spiritual information and spiritual intelligence told me that it was more sexual undertones of this or whatever, and I believe that was the case. But he tried to destroy. He tried to destroy everything he could with bleach. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna go into particulars, but I'm gonna say that. And thank God for the baby brother that the guy took with them, because this little boy was just doing amazing things, and he didn't even know he was doing this. And it was almost like it was divinely leading him to do these things. So while the man was in the Walmart, he had to, so when he was going out, whatever he was doing, I feel like he was dumping the child. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna connect it to her, but dumping the child, I felt like he took his battery out of the phone so that authorities couldn't track down where he was. But unbeknownst to the little boy, he wasn't doing this for a reason to catch him, but it was like divinely done so authorities could catch this man and track down where Bree is. So the little boy started putting the phone back in the battery back in the phone because he was bored waiting in the car while the dude was in Walmart. So because he done that, it tracked this man to Walmart where he bought these, which Walmart it was, where he was around, and what the little boy seen, and they was comparing the two. I think the little boy put the battery back in the phone twice, and the man didn't even know that. So yes, he was being tracked because of that. So and when the man came back out, then the boy took the battery out of the phone again. But yeah, like because of these things that he didn't know he was doing and was divinely led to do, just being a boy, just wanting to play the video games, that helped find Bree. That helped nail this man for what he was doing and how he was trying to cover up his crimes and all of that. So yes. So um, after the verdict was read and he was found guilty on both counts, the whole courtroom erupted in applause. So um, that says something. And also, after he was being laid out and they was erupting in applause, all you hear afterwards, I didn't put that part on my video, um, was Brianna's mom. She could not stop weeping. She was just crying, crying, crying. She couldn't stop herself. She was just crying her little heart out. And she just cried for like 10 minutes. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, somebody was holding her and rubbing her. She just was screaming and crying and trying to get it out. And I just felt so bad. I didn't want to put that on the video because I felt like that'd be kind of capitalizing off our pain or something like that. So, yeah, but shout out to her. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm so sorry this happened. And I just want to tell y'all about the justice that had prevailed over this fool. And because he was a convicted sex offender. I don't know if I told y'all that on one of these lives, but the man was a convicted sex offender. So because he was that, and then he did something to Bree, now he got life sentence for what he done to Bree. So that's a great thing. This man will never be out on the streets again. He gonna die in there, and that's what he need to do. Um, and that's what he should have done from the beginning. Because these type of people, if you ask me, they need to be locked away for life. If you ask me, because I don't feel like there's no rehabilitating them. I really don't. I mean, they could try to tame stuff, but they can't tame it forever. So that's how I feel about the situation. Um, I just wanted to tell y'all about the two events that happened, two verdicts actually, that were announced and what happened and what happens from there. And whoever sees this is more than welcome to put whatever they have to say in the comments if you want to. And thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. If you would like to support my channel, the Cash App is scrolling across the bottom. And also, my PayPal is in the description box. If you want to contact me, my email and a way to text me should be in the description box. But I don't remember if I put that in there today. But if I didn't, you could check any other one and find the text number. But I know I put the email in there. So if you wish to contact me, you're more than welcome to. And I think that's it for today. Thank you for busting it up with me. I appreciate you for being here. I love y'all. Mwah. Peace.